Hello everyone and welcome to this week's behind the scenes devlog video, and this week I'm going to be doing a lot of work on the UI and trying to make it look a little bit nicer. So it's already Thursday today. On Monday I was still in England. I got back on Monday evening, and then on Tuesday I worked on the tutorial which was about low poly terrain, which is out now, so you can watch that if you want. Then yesterday I had quite a few other things to sort out, tried to catch up with my emails, was just ill for a bit. I've been ill for the last few days, you might be able to hear, but I'm getting better now. So today I'm finally getting back to work on Equilinox, and I'm going to be starting off by doing some work on the UI. So my plan for the next week or so is to go through every single UI in the game and to make it all look very nice and professional, nice and tidy and consistent, because one of the big problems is that I've been working on this game for almost 2 years now, and the style that I've been using for the UI has kind of changed slightly over the 2 years as I've learnt new things. So I need to go through all the UI and make sure it's all consistent, using the same design. And this morning I've been trying to come up with some set design and style guidelines that I'm going to follow for all the UI, which is probably something I should have done before I even started making the UI for the game. But I didn't, so I'll know better for next time, but for now I need to try and sort out this mess. Just before I stop for lunch, I thought it would be a good idea to go through all the UI in the game and take a screenshot of each one so that I can have a nice overview here and I can see them all at once, and I can see which styles don't quite match up. But I'm just going to quickly make some lunch now, and then I'll get back to work on this afternoon. So this afternoon's been a bit of a disaster. I've been trying to work on the UI, trying to work out what kind of design I'm going to use, but just been struggling a bit. I was looking at other games for inspiration, like Besiege here. I really like the UI in that, but I just don't really know where to start with my game. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll start the tidy up of the UI next week, and this week I'll link those pictures that I took earlier of all the UI in the game. I'll link them in the description, and you guys can have a look, and if you have any suggestions of what I could change in terms of design, you know, colours, sizes, things like that, then do let me know and I can start implementing them next week. Other than that, I haven't really got much else done this afternoon. I've still been feeling kind of rubbish, still got a bit of a cold, which is annoying. So I think I'm just going to rest for the rest of the evening and then try again tomorrow. Good morning everyone, it is Friday morning, just having a bit of breakfast, and I've got a few features planned that I want to get done today. Firstly, with the UI, for UIs that have transparent backgrounds, I want the scene that you can see through the UI to appear a bit blurred, and that's something that I've never implemented before, but I'm going to have a go at it today. It shouldn't be too tricky, and yeah, that's what I'm going to start off with today. So I've just got started with implementing this new feature, and the first thing that I had to do was to create a blurred image of the scene, which wasn't too tricky. I've done this before. I just applied a Gaussian blur to the original image of the scene, and the next thing that I'm going to do is that when the UIs get rendered, any transparent ones are going to mix their colour with the colour of the blurred image of the scene. So I've been making some pretty good progress on this. As you can see here, the background of this UI is now nicely blurred, and I can of course change how blurred it is and how transparent the UI is. It's pretty much finished. There are just a couple of little issues. As you can see, these info buttons here are also being mixed with the colour of the background, so I just need to fix that. So I am now completely finished with this update, and you can see it working nicely here with the entity pop-up GUI, and also here you can see another example of it. So all the bugs for this are now fixed and it's all working as it should be. And in the codes, this is where it all happens when the UI is being rendered in the GUI fragment shader. You can see that if the UI uses the blur effects, then I sample the blurred image of the scene at the screen space coordinates of the UI to get the blur color, and I then mix that blurred color with the color of the UI depending on how transparent the UI is. And as you saw, that gives us this nice effect here. So that's all working. I'm going to take a quick break now because I need to make some pies for this evening. I've got some friends coming over and I want to make pies. But after that, I'll get to work on the next task. Next up today, I thought I'd make a start on one of the other big things that I still have left to do in the game, which is sound effects. And I started work on the Biome sound effects, which is a system that I set up quite a while ago, and I thought I'd finally put it to use. So different biomes in the game can have different sound effects. So for example, here, this is a grassland biome. You can see that it's mostly grassland. And when we now get close to that with the camera, you can hear some birds tweeting. And I can give different sound effects to the different types of biomes. This afternoon, just doing some more work on the sound system. It's quite a while ago that I actually programmed all the audio code, and some of it still needs improving, so I was just trying to do a bit of that. And also I was just looking up how I can load up .ogg files, because that's the file format that I want to use for the sound effects, and I was just looking for a library that could decode them. But now I'm just going to take a bit of a break from the programming. I'm still not feeling too great and I want to do something a little bit more relaxing, so I'm going to make the model for one final species for Equilinox. So it's 5 o'clock now, and I've just had a couple of nice relaxing hours of modelling, making the models for this new peacock species, which went very well. And I know I shouldn't really be adding any more species into Equilinox at this stage, but I just didn't feel like doing any more thinking this afternoon, and one more species can't hurt. Good morning everyone, it is Saturday morning. I'm going to be starting off today with a bit of editing for this week's devlog video. I'm going to try and get everything done today this week so that I can have a bit of a rest tomorrow, try and get rid of this cold finally. And later today I'll do some more work on the peacock species, but first I'm going to do some editing. It is 11 o'clock now, the editing's been going fine this morning, but in a bit I'm going to start work on the peacock species. But first, I'm just going to quickly cycle down the road to go to the market and get some food for lunch. Just been adding the peacocks into the game, and you can see a few of them roaming around in the grasslands here, looking pretty nice. But there's no way for them to lift up their back feathers at the moment, so that's what I'm going to be implementing next. So I just implemented a peacock component into the game, which now allows the peacocks to put their back feathers up. And just for fun, to test this out, I also implemented a kind of getting angry AI, so just randomly they'll get angry with one another and then charge at each other with their feathers up, and then that's basically it for now. They just calm down after a while. So I think that's probably going to be it for this week, unfortunately. Sorry that it's been a bit of a rubbish week, but next week I'm looking forward to getting back into a nice rhythm. I've got lots of free weeks coming up, lots of time for development, and should hopefully be able to get lots more done. So next week, as I said, I'm going to be working on the UI, and if you have any suggestions about anything to do with the UI, do leave them in the comments below. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Do subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you all next time.